You best try again, lawman.
Howdy, Vault Riders. Sam here, and tonight we ain't sitting around campfire singing about wide-open plains. No, sir. We're riding into the darker side of the frontier, where six-shooters meet specters and tumbleweeds roll past the haunted towns. This is part one of our wicked western horror countdown, 12 blood-soaked, ghost-haunted, and downright unholy mashups. Now, if you've seen our series on the most brutal westerns, you know I've got a soft spot for grit and gore. But these are something else. They'll make you wonder if the West was won by cowboys or cursed by demons. We're counting down from high noon all the way to the meanest, nastiest horror western of the bunch. So grab your silver bullets, keep them lanterns lit, and for the love of all things holy, don't check into any roadside inns along the way. Lock and load, partner. It's time for 12 wicked western horror movies.
But what good will do to succeed?
Imagine, we'll have someone to do our bidding who can't be put to death. Just as we have given it life, only we can take its life away.
Now, if you've ever wondered how far our singing cowboy era could fall, here's your answer. Jesse James meets Frankenstein's daughter. It's about as serious as a drunk mule trying the two-step.
I congratulate you, dear brother. You were correct in choosing this wild land.
It was not I. It was Professor von Metzler who said in southwest part of America, you'll find these electrical storms you need for your experiments.
The story matches up American outlaw legend with European mad science. We got Jesse James hiding out.
I heard that Jesse James was killed up at Northridge.
There are a lot of folks who think that the James boys were wiped out. Well, I'm Jesse, all right.
Only to run into old Doc Frankenstein's grandkid, who moved her laboratory out west. Yep, this is six shooters meeting scalpels, and the result is, well, I mean, it ain't exactly high art. But here's the thing. It's a hoot. You just can't look away from this one. The monster looks like he stumbled in from a high school Halloween party, and Jesse acts like he read his lines off a cue card.
I'm sorry to bother you so early in the morning, but I gotta have this medicine to get right back.
And yet, there's just something so weirdly watchable about it all. It's drive-in cheese at its ripest. This one's just like chili made with ketchup. It's wrong on paper, but oddly tasty if you're 3 beers deep.
You're the doctor?
Yes. My brother and I are both doctors. What happened?
Well, he shot himself cleaning his gun.
Aubrey Rowe cooked this one up on a budget that's a bit thinner than a Shadow at high noon, but it still packs a nasty little hook. The setup's pretty mean. You got a pack of renegades who disguise themselves as Indians, and they slaughter a family on a trail. Splitting 2 young brothers were good. 10 years later, there's a hooded specter called Rawhide Terror who starts picking off those same renegades, who are now respectable townfolk, one by one. That mask and hush-quiet stalking, it gives it a proto-slasher chill, even if the film wobbles like a 2-legged mule. Is it rough? Yeah, you bet it's rough. Critics, they called it sloppy and crudely made. But even the naysayers admit that the hooded killer can be convincingly eerie. You know, think frontier justice wearing a rawhide mask and some bad intentions. It's a curious early splice of Western horror. More ambition than ammunition, but it earns a spot for showing a genre could get grim long before grindhouse came to town.
Damn it, Amos. I told you to go home.
Now this one's a bit of a strange stew. Knife of the Ladies tries to be a Western, a murder mystery, and a slasher flick, just all at once. We've got a small frontier town where women keep just turning up gutted, and the lawman, he brings in a big city detective to catch the killer. So it's like Jack the Ripper by way of saddle and spurs. Thing is, it don't really ride steady. Half the time it feels like a dusty whodunit, and the other half, it's like lurking in alleys like a grindhouse horror. But the mixture gives it a certain charm, like drinking whiskey out of a chipped teacup. It's rough and awkward, but it still kick you square in the teeth. There's grit in these kills, atmosphere in the ghost town streets, and enough blood on the floor to keep the horror hounds curious. It's not the sharpest blade in the drawer, but definitely one of the strangest to slice into the Western genre. If Clint Eastwood's Man with No Name had been resurrected from the grave, you'd get something like Django the Bastard.
It's you I was looking for.
This spaghetti western, it leans so far into horror, it nearly topples over. The story goes, a mysterious gunman. He drifts into town, and he's planting crosses in the dirt with men's name on them. This is before killing those poor bastards. Folks start whispering maybe he ain't even human. Maybe he's a vengeful ghost walking the earth with unfinished business. Now, it ain't no secret this flick inspired High Plains Drifter just a few years later. But where Eastwood kept it eerie, Carone cranked it up like a church organ on fire. The atmosphere, it's thick as swamp fog, and Django's blank-eyed stare, it'll chill you colder than a well-digger's backside. Plot-wise, it's just Revenge 101, dressed up like a ghost story. A spaghetti western that sneaks a horror mask onto its gunslinger. All right, I've been talking for a bit here. Now it's your turn. Why don't you go drop me a comment down below? And you tell me, what was your favorite Saturday matinee memory was, or which cowboy horror debut surprised you the most? I read every single one, and your picks, I can guarantee, they're going to end up in a future countdown down the road.
I just can't figure out why they didn't scalp her. Come on, girl.
Hey! Hey!
Here's one that don't get talked about too much, but it'll crawl under your skin like a tick. The Shadow of Chikara, it follows a couple of Confederate deserters who wander into a cursed mountain country looking for treasure. Only problem is, the hills are haunted by something old and a bit vengeful. The movie plays it slow, more ghostly atmosphere than outright gore. But when things turn nasty, they turn real nasty. Men start vanishing, strange figures stalk the ridges, and there's a sense that mountains themselves want some blood. It's Appalachia by way of gothic frontier horror, with that doom-laden 70s grindhouse grit. It ain't the most polished ride, but it feels cursed, like you're watching a folktale somebody warned you not to tell after sundown. It's creepy and bleak, and brutal in its own backwoods way.
Hold it! Hold it! Get up on me, girl! Come on up! That's good. Right up there now. You all right? Yeah! All right!
All right! The name of the movie is Inn of the Damned. Damn what? Oh! That's it. It's just Inn of the Damned. Starring Alex Cord and some dame named Judith Anderson. They tell me it's pretty good, but the little bit of it that I saw looked like some doggone Western.
Now this here is an oddity from down under. Inn of the Damned, it ain't set in Dodge City, but the Australian outback, which makes it no less of a frontier. Now picture this. We have some weary travelers who roll into a roadside inn, and only to find out the owners, they run it like a slaughterhouse. Every guest checks in, but they don't check back out. This place is just a madhouse of traps, axes, and just downright sadistic tricks. You know, think Psycho with kangaroos somewhere off screen. It's grimy, sleazy, and soaked in blood, just the way a grindhouse horror should be. Now the pacing's a bit choppy, and the accents may throw you if you're expecting tumbleweed Texas, but the atmosphere, it's about as suffocating as a hot barn in July. This one proves you don't need no Wild West to make a Western horror, just a frontier, some killers, and enough bodies to stack like cordwood.
Bring my shotgun and a lantern. I want to take a look in the room downstairs.
No. You don't go in that room. Nobody goes in that room. You are locked out. Everybody is locked out. No, leave us alone.
Oh boy, I can hardly wait to find out what's going on down there in that basement. Hardly. We'll be right back with the exciting conclusion to Inn of the Damned, right after these messages from the advertiser.
So you know what? Keeping the vault run, it ain't free, folks. And if you enjoy these deep dives, I need you to hit that like button for me. And make sure you subscribed. It helps us survive out here in the wild frontier of YouTube. You ever get to wondering about what would happen if an 80s cop wandered straight into a cursed cowboy town? Well, that's good, because the ghost town, it's just for you. In this one, a deputy stumbles across a dusty old settlement stuck in some kind of time warp purgatory thing, run by an undead outlaw sheriff and his gang. This one's got all the trappings. You got gunfights, tumbleweeds, plenty of six-shooters, but twisted through horror filters. You got corpse rising up, spirits lingering around, and just every shadow hides something rotten. It feels like Poltergeist took a detour down the Cherokee Trail. Sure, the special effects are just pure VHS cheese, but they've got themselves some charm. They use a lot of smoke machines, rubbery corpses, glowing eyes. You know, man, it is all here. And that cursed sheriff, he's meaner than a mule with mange. For late night thrills, Ghost Town, it's a diamond in the VHS dust.
You'll suffer for this. My pain will be your pain.
I will not rest, nor will this town, till you die, Devlin. And rot.
Excuse me.
What?
Where are you taking us?
Mexico.
What's in Mexico?
Mexicans.
Man, this movie you start now, you think you're watching a Tarantino crime flick. You know, two outlaw brothers on the run. Then they go hiding in a Mexican strip bar. But then the sun goes down, and just all hell breaks loose. Literally. It turns out the joint's a nest of vampires, and suddenly, it's a blood-splattered siege. The first half's pure Western outlaw grip. The second half, it's a monster mash with tequila and some shotgun blasts. Rodriguez and Tarantino, they don't hold nothing back. You got heads rolling, bodies exploding, and the gore just flies like buckshot. It's nasty, and it's funny, and it's got more sudden turns than a rattler in a sack. Is it straight up Western? No, not really. But the outlaw code, the showdown structure, and that brutal last stand finale, that's frontier spirit through and through, just with a lot more fangs and blood spray.
There, trying to get in, is pure evil straight from hell. And if there is a hell, and those sons of bitches are from it, then there has got to be a heaven, Jacob.
Look into my eyes. You will never have to use that knife again. Come with me and live forever.
Now this one here is probably the quirkiest critter on the list. Sundown, the vampire in retreat, gives you a desert town where vampires, they've gone to just set up shop. They're trying to live peaceful, drinking synthetic blood instead of snacking on the locals. The problem is, not all the vamps, they like that diet plan. So rebellion starts to brew, and soon it's bullets and fangs in the sand. You got your shootouts.
Just about to find out.
What you gonna do with that?
And you got your bloodsuckers. You even got Bruce Campbell hamming it up as a bumbling descendant of Van Helsing.
So how many
What?
of you...
Vampires?
Yes, vampires are there?
The whole town?
It plays like half horror, half comedy. But the Western bones, they're strong in this one, because you got some dusty streets, frontier justice, and a town that can't hold its peace. It's campy as hell, it's bloody, and it's got more bite than most of the slicker vampire flicks that came later. Try and imagine Bonanza and Nosferatu riding shotgun. That's the vibe.
Howdy. I'm gonna separate your head from your shoulders. Hope you don't mind none.
You put a hurting on us, May, but good.
It was sort of an accident.
No, that was sloppy, May. Real sloppy.
Let me do it, Jesse. Let me tap dance on it, won't you?
This one, it ain't funny. And it sure as hell, it ain't pretty. Near Dark, it might be the finest vampire western hybrid ever shot. This one follows a drifter kid who gets roped into a gang of nomadic bloodsuckers. Outlaws just riding the highways and desert towns of the Southwest. They're like a biker gang crossed with gunslingers, feeding and killing their way across the map. Catherine Bigelow shoots it all in this moody, twilight tone, blood in the dust, neon on the horizons. The violence is sudden, savage, and ugly.
There's two ways to leave these here premises.
Is that?
That's a fact. On your feet or on your back.
We're talking barroom massacres.
I do that?
Roadside ambushes and bodies burning in the sunlight. It ain't even stylized. It's raw, hungry, and nihilistic as a rattler coiled in the dark. Near Dark, it ain't just a horror western. It's one of the best damn vampire flicks ever made. Period.
Hey, let me give you a hand there, old buddy. Asshole.
Hey, Caleb! I hate to be an Indian giver, I really do.
But you disappointed me.
Don't take him.
Nick, wake up!
Don't do this. Don't do this.
I just covered this one back in my Brutal series not too long ago, but if you've got the stomach for it, Bone Tomahawk might be the single most brutal horror western ever lensed. Kurt Russell, he leads a posse to rescue captives from a tribe of cave-dwelling cannibals. And the journey, it's slow, it's tense, and just bone-deep unsettling. And then you hit the scene. If you've seen it, you know what I'm talking about. It's a kill so grisly, so stomach-turning, It made even hardened horror fans squirm. But the genius of the film is how quiet it is. The dusty silences, the slow march, and you can just hear everything happening. This is a frontier nightmare where survival feels like triumph and more like delaying the inevitable. Russell anchors it with a weary gravitas, but even his mustache can't soften the horror. This one ain't just brutal, it's unforgettable.
We're in hell.
Open the goddamn door.
Okay! Hold it!
What are you gonna do, shoot me? What did I ever really do to you?
Now, a bunch of folks, they might say, this one, it ain't no Western. But I'm just gonna tell you you're playing. The Devil's Rejects, it's a Western. Just filter through Rob Zombie's grindhouse nightmare lens. 'Cause you got your outlaws on the run. They got a posse trailing behind them. There's some dusty roads and a bloody last stand that could have been lifted right out of Peckinpah. Only just meaner, nastier, and dripping with sleeves. The Firefly Clan, they ain't no anti-heroes. They're just pure monsters.
What's the matter, kid? Don't you like clowns? Why? Don't we make you laugh?
Torturers, killers, sadists, and yet Zombie, he shoots it like a mournful frontier ballad, complete with the final gunfight set to Leonard Skinner's Freebird. It's violent, it's nihilistic, and it's one of the rawest takes on outlaw mythology ever put on screen. The Old West, it had plenty of devils riding the prairie. This just updates it with tattoos and 20th century depravity. Wicked? Hell yeah it is. Western? More than most folks won't admit.
Oh, yeah. Lord have mercy. What a morning. Levi!
Yeah, boss.
You know why I come here to get these chickens?
No, boss.
'Cause my brother makes the best fried chicken in the world.
Well, folks, horror and westerns go together like whiskey and bad decisions. Both bring the fear, the violence, and the folks pushing past their limits. Now, if you're hankering for more, we've got links waiting for you at the end of the video. You can jump right over there, and don't you forget, you hit that like button and subscribe for me if you can, right? Because if you want this channel to keep spitting out dusty gems, I need to do just that. Otherwise, you're going to be stuck watching AI cartoon cowboys dancing on TikTok. And Lord help us if that day ever comes. So lock and load, partners, and keep the reels rolling.
You are no longer Hank Tracy. You are evil. Do you understand?
Listen, you mind getting one of your donut brigades going over there and scoop up some of that skull matter, put it in the bag for the meds? Yeah, you got it.